When shopping for a new or used car, get started with TrueCar today to experience ultimate price transparency. Save $3,000 off MSRP. You'll get real pricing on actual cars. TrueCar.com. Okay, so everybody always talks about trust the process. Trust the process. Trust the process is a term used, created by the Philadelphia 76ers, former GM Sam Hinkie, tanking, accumulate draft picks. Trust the process. Now, first of all, one of my favorite sayings in the world: love many, trust few. I'll say it again. Love many, trust few. I do not trust many people. I think I love many people.
How do you love people without trusting them?
Very easy for me.
Really?
Very. So I don't trust many people. So when I hear trust the process, I blanch at trust. I believe in tweaking the process. Give you an example. Netflix, trust the process. Netflix 2000, unlimited DVD rentals. 2006, DVD rentals sales drop. Uh-oh. They tweaked the process, moved into video on demand. They have since tweaked the process again. Now original content. Netflix has always tweaked the process, not trusted that their initial process works. You have to always tweak it. Nick Saban, Alabama, middle of his dynasty. Huddles left football. The game sped up. He tweaked the process. He hired offensive coordinators with an understanding of space, quicker upper-tempo football. He didn't rely on just the process he created. Saban tweaked it. Amazon.com has done this. Used to be selling books. Then in 1998, they bought a corporation. That corporation was called Junglee, which is essentially a company that allowed shopping for everything. They had a process. They sold books. They tweaked the process. Don't trust it. Tweak it. The Philadelphia 76ers, I am not as high on as everybody else. Vegas has them at 40 wins. That's mostly because they play in the unwatchable Eastern Conference outside of a few teams. But they always talked about trust the process of tanking and accumulating draft picks. Here's where I don't like it. In 2012, the league began to change. In 2012 and 2013, the league began to change. The three-point shot analytics started taking over, and Steph Curry started making an impact, upset win in the playoffs. Oh, now it's time to tweak the process, Philadelphia. Guards, wings who can shoot, not centers, are running this league. Teams were shooting 28 a game, 38 a game, 44 threes a game. Yet in the 2013 draft, what did they do? The Philadelphia 76ers drafted a guard who couldn't shoot and a big who couldn't shoot. Between 2013 and 2014, teams were now averaging 43 threes a game. Tweak the process. Yet the Sixers, 2013, 2014, 2015, kept bragging about trusting the process, not tweaking it, and they kept getting guys who can't shoot. Bigs, more bigs, length, more bigs. The process should not have been as trusted as it should have been tweaked, because now you are desperate for shooters and basically have to massively overpay for J.J. Redick. I'm not against a process and a vision. Nick Saban, Netflix, Amazon, tweak. The Philadelphia 76ers, as much as I like Ben Simmons, he can't shoot either. In this process, bigs, there was a year, I think 2015, they drafted 3 bigs. By 2015, you knew bigs were not running the league. Dwight Howard, basically. Jahlil Okafor, basically. What's the point? They can't be in games late. The game is faster, no hand checks. The game is full court, not half court. Run. It's not about rebounding. It's about possessions and threes. So it's not that I don't like the process, the accumulation of draft picks. I do like that. But what makes Netflix and Amazon and Saban, and by the way, New England's done this, they are constantly tweaking the process. This Philadelphia team's got one shooter. One. And they got bigs now that very few teams want. And even in 2013, they got a guard who couldn't shoot and a big who couldn't shoot. That's why I'm not as high on them. By the way, when it comes to three-pointers, they're awful. So again, love many, trust few. I am not anti-process. I get what they were doing. But look at what Houston has done and Golden State has done. And San Antonio, by the way, this is a great example of what Coach K did at Duke. Coach K trusts the process. Hardworking, smart kids, committed. We will not put the banner up of a championship team unless everybody graduates. Oh, wait, the culture changed. We're going to tweak the process. Duke says we're going to take guys who play for a year, and we're going to put the banner up if we don't graduate every player. Bobby Knight was rigid. John Calipari and Mike Krzyzewski were not rigid. They tweaked it. Don't be rigid. Even if you come up with a great idea, there's going to be roadblocks and barriers and cultural changes and new laws. The best accountants are always looking for that little crevice, that little opening. That's what they do. That's what business people do. So I just always trust the process. It's always hashtag trust the process. No. Tweak it all the time. By the way, at Farmers, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two, like how to make sure you're ready for life's unexpected hazards. Stay ahead of the game with tips from knowledgeable veteran pros, farmers.com. You know, I got about 2 minutes here. So a coach, I grew up in the state of Washington. Washington Huskies were my favorite team, right? And the coach, Chris Peterson's the best coach in the Pac-12. Very clever, very smart, very detailed. But he complained a couple of weeks ago, I hate these 10:45 Eastern starts, 7:45 Pacific. It's terrible for our fans and nobody can see us out east. Hey, that's a you problem. Look at your out-of-conference schedule, coach. September's up for grabs. Maybe if you schedule somebody besides Idaho State and Panera Bread in September, you'd get on television in the afternoon. Go look at their out-of-conference schedule. Montana's, Fresno State's, Rutgers. Year before it was worse. September is wide open real estate. It's beachfront property. Alabama doesn't have to play a great team, but every year Alabama goes out and plays a Michigan or a Penn State or a Wisconsin because Alabama, they don't need more exposure, but they want to get on television early, and Alabama knows we'll be on TV late. That Auburn game will be on TV. That Florida game will be on TV. That SEC championship will be on TV, but Nick Saban's like, I want to be in TV in September. So Chris Peterson, I love you. You're a great coach. This is on you and your athletic department. Schedule better games in September. By the way, Washington next year's finally doing it. They're playing Auburn next year in Atlanta. And guess what? That will give them that early exposure. That'll be a great game. Both those teams top 10 next year. Both return most of their starters. A lot of sophomores, juniors. But when I hear coaches complaining, my takeaway is control it. A football coach as powerful as Chris Peterson, he makes